Hello everybody, welcome to Ink Paper Play Live. I'm Joe of Design with Joe, and I am so glad that you are here to watch what we are going to be doing today. So these are bite-sized ideas for your crafting toolkit. So I want to make sure that you can change up what you do so it's not the same thing all the time. I want to make sure that you're full of all kinds of different ideas so that when you get into your craft space, you are inspired to try something new. So remember that the project reveal is always at the end. So I show you the technique or the design, whatever we're doing, and I'll show you a couple of the design. Well, I've got, I think, 4 different designs at the end. So stick around to the end. So make sure that you comment. Let me know where you're watching from because I would love to see that. And I want to make sure that I actually have some sound. So I think I do. It looks to me like I do. I'm on my iPad over here, and I can see your comments over there even when we get down to our desk. So we're going to get to the desk right away, so hold on. Thank you everybody for coming. Remember to say hello. I have one little piece of housekeeping that I have to do based on last week. So remember that I love to have comments, and I do answer all of them. So please leave me a comment, ask me questions, say, I don't think that's going to work for me, or let me know that this is something you really think is going to be a wow for your cards. So here we go. I'm going to turn you down. So here we go. And so I leave it black for a little while. I think that's easier than you seeing my screen and everything. So how is that? Let me know that you can see that it works okay for you. Let me turn that and even make it just a teeny bit smaller. There we go. Okay, pull this side across. So the first thing that I have to do is I have to award or do my giveaway from last week. So last week, for anybody who placed a comment in the first I think it was 24 hours after I did the live, I had these 3, and they're all just a little step up kind of card. Lots of glitz and glamour on that one. And then this one here is a double reverse fold. So I do have a winner. And I want to thank Myrtle for watching and making a comment. And I'm going to package these up and throw them in the mail for her. Oh, and you can hear my dog is just shook himself. Okay, I'm just going to adjust myself a tiny little bit here. Looks like I have to stand on a stool to do this. Okay, so what do you need to do this technique? This is what you need, but I want to show you first of all Stampin Blends. Now some of you might be a little bit intimidated with Stampin Blends, which is what these are. And these are alcohol markers, and they really are great markers for coloring. And I'm just going to show you a couple different things for a couple different designs. So here I've got 3 different colors and all the light and the dark because there's 2 of them in the colors. And why I'm talking about these now too is that they're 40% off this week until December 1st, and we're talking 2025 at Stampin' Up. So whatever colors you think you need to add to your toolkit, now's the time to pick them up. So we have Cloud Cover, Pool Party, and Lost Lagoon on this one. And this is just a whole bunch of ombre and coloring and blending. So you can do something like that for a background, or this is an earlier one that I did where I just colored the flowers in the background, light and dark. And then you might remember this one here that I did as well, which is that great coffee cup. So you can get beautiful blended colors with this. So they really are fun to play with. And don't think that they're being retired. I think they're just on sale for a great price right now. Hello, Maggie. I am so glad that you're here and you have a complete collection. Perfect for you. Okay, but let's do something different than color with them today. So what I want to do is I'm just going to move these out so we don't have any distractions. Show you what the different supplies are. So first of all, you need a few blends. And I wouldn't take too many different colors. We're going to use 3 today, and I might limit myself to 3. You could even try 2. You could try 4, but you run the risk of getting more browns, which may not be what you're going for. So what I have here, I have shaded spruce that's dark. I have dark shy shamrock, and I also have granny apple green, which is also dark. Now I do like, you can get really soft, light ideas here, and I've got that in the samples at the end, but I want to do something a little bit brighter. I don't know if I'm going to use this today or not, but if you have a Stampin' Spritzer that has alcohol in it, then you might like to do it. Well, I'll show you it today, but it's not something I always use. You need just a little container. Now this is just one that I have, but you want a container to put your alcohol in, and then you just want some rubbing alcohol. Okay, so this is just one that I use for cleaning. Mostly I use it for crafting. Anybody else do that? You know, you buy it and you think, oh yeah, I'm going to do lots of cleaning with that. And then you find that it's really much more fun to do it with crafts. So I'm going to put it in here, and I'm going to tell you why and show you why in just a little bit. Then just some cotton balls. So cotton balls and an alligator clip. So most of us have something like that at home. You're going to put the cotton balls right into the alligator clip. So many of us did this similar technique using your ink refills years ago on glossy paper, which is stunning, but we are doing something different today. So you want to start with what you think is the lightest color, and it's pretty hard to tell here. I'm going to go with my Shy Shamrock. You want to use the brush tip, and you are going to scribble everywhere. And I think that everybody has the ability to scribble, right? We're not doing anything really hard here. You're scribbling everywhere. A little bit of my granny apple green. And you want to go right up to it. If you touch it, that's okay, but maybe try not to touch it. And then I'm going to go in with some shaded spruce. And really, you can see that, you know, I'm not really thinking too much about where I'm putting this. Now, this is the fun part. So you really do want a fair bit of alcohol. In fact, I hope I have enough in there. You're going to take your cotton ball and you are going to just, I think I need more actually. Because it dries so quickly. So yes, I'm sorry. Maggie, I didn't tell you. That is exactly what I'm scribbling on. This is vellum. I didn't tell you that. And this is a very important supply. And I'm using my Stampin' Pierce mat as well. Okay, so yes, this is vellum. I just colored on the vellum. Okay, and now I've got a really sopping cotton ball here. And you are just going to dab that fairly quickly all over. Now, the thing with alcohol is that it really does dry quick. So you can always pick up more, but you can maybe see, I'm going to add a little bit more because my colors have almost made a little bit of a line on here today, and I'm not exactly sure why. So you're going to let that move. Now, alcohol is going to dry fairly quickly, but you want some of these lines here. I am going to try another color because I'm looking at the lines here and I'm thinking, those lines stayed there. And that's really weird because that hasn't happened before. So let's put that one aside to dry. And let's try it with a couple other colors. I'm going to move it around first of all. I do have a fair bit of alcohol on there, and you can dry it fairly quickly by just waving it around because it's alcohol. But we'll set it aside to dry. Let's try another one while we're at it. So this time we're going to do, what have I got here? I've got Summer Splash, I've got Light As Your Afternoon, and I think I have Dark Pretty Peacock. So let's go, well, Summer Splash I think might be our lightest. Now I am going to change these out. We could maybe use them, but I am going to change them out, and I'm going to use 2 new ones. So another quick little here, and you can see just how fast this technique is. You can make a bunch of different backgrounds in a short period of time. Your room's going to smell like alcohol, but oh well, that's not a bad thing, is it? And scribble, right? Try not to don't think about it too much. Just get your color down, and I can see that I already have some ink down there. Put some up there. So I'm not really thinking about that at all, and then get your colors on there. Okay, and then you can always do another layer. So that's the thing that is interesting with this technique, is that it's not necessarily done the first time you do it. So if it looks a little bit too light, then go in there once it's dried and give it another layer. Now let's take a look at this guy here. So this guy here has some lines that are drying. These are really quite cool in here. And you don't get to see it until you stick it onto some white cardstock. So once you put it on the white is when you really can notice it. So this is surprising to me that I'm having those lines, because if I look at other ones that I've done, and I'm going to show you a couple more right now, I don't have those lines. So, okay, there's one. This is done with fresh freesia and I think petunia, Papa Petunia, and this is another one done with these exact same colors, so a little bit more intense. So they really do pop once you stick them onto your plain basic white. So I'm gonna so this one here is dry. Well, it's pretty dry. Let's wave it around. I wanna show you if you wanted to put another bunch on, and I'm gonna dry this one on. And you can maybe see how quickly the edges do start to fall in when you give it some air. I wouldn't give this a shot with your heat tool because you could warp your vellum, and you don't want to do that. So let's just put some more on this one and let's just see what it looks like. So let's put a little bit more of the Azure Afternoon. So as long as it's dry, go ahead and give that another little bit. And then get back in there with your alcohol. Okay, just get it moving around as quick as possible. And then you can wave that one around too, and you can build up some different layers of color. So what I want is, I want to show you the finished designs. Here, I'll just show you this guy here too. We'll put it next to the other blue one so you can see. Okay, so you can get some different, really, you're never going to get something that looks the same one time to the next. It always is going to be a little bit different. And let's bring in this one, which is almost dry. And I think I would try and do something different with this one. I think I would try and maybe do some circular. Well, let's try. Let's do some circular with it. And let's see if I can get some more. I do not like how my lines are showing up on that one, and it's weird that it's done that. So let's just see what happens here. Give it a little more alcohol. And that's the fun part about this, right? Okay, no alligator clip, is that you're just playing. And so you don't need to be an artist to do this. You just need to have a little sense of adventure. There, I think that that's going to actually be a little bit better. Okay, so let me bring in the finished designs, the project reveal. And if you think you might like this idea, I do have a class with some stepped up techniques that you might want to try. It's alcohol backgrounds for card makers, 3 different designs that you're going to make, but some different techniques to elevate how you do this technique. 3 different techniques to step it up. So here's our reveal. So this one here you may have seen before. This is a Christmas card with a beautiful background, lots of alcohol on this one. Here's another Christmas card with shaded spruce, so different colors than what this one has. This one is a little bit brighter. This one here has some blue in it, both on shaded spruce though. And then what if you don't want to do Christmas cards? These guys here, here's one here. This is done very soft. This is Azure Afternoon with a little bit of lemon lolly in there, I think. So just a couple different ones there. And then this one here I did a while ago. A really bright pink. And there's some Just Jade in there, and there's some blue, I think Misty Moonlight. And you can see where I say when you have more than, this is 3 colors, but when they intersect, you're gonna get something that is a color you wouldn't normally think you're gonna get. So there are a few different ideas. And remember, hit subscribe so that you can watch, and sign up to get notification of when I'm going live. It's every Wednesday at noon, and be sure to come and join in. Please make a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know if you're going to try this. Let me know if you tried it. I would love to see whatever you design. So thanks very much for joining me. We'll see you again on Ink Paper Play Live, bite-sized ideas for your crafting toolkit. Bye-bye.